23-year-old girl is dead. What do you have to say about that?
What were you doing at the Chevron?
Anything to say to the victim's family?
Anything at all?
Anything to say to your family?
We was told he was driving the car. Yeah. And we was also told that the bullets wasn't for her. We was told that the bullets were for him. I just feel like they planned this. Now, I don't know what the other guy come in at, because I was told that he was maybe her new boyfriend. She's the sweetest cousin out of everybody, out of my family. She's just had turned 23 last year. She was the funniest person. She kept everybody laughing.
Y'all, before we get into any of the ugly parts of this story, I need you to know one simple thing about Destiny Watson first. She was 23, and she spent her days as a certified nursing assistant, taking care of people who could not take care of themselves. That was her whole thing, taking care of folks. Now, hold on to that for a second, because in a few minutes, I am going to tell you about a grown woman who could not take care of her own feelings about an ex-boyfriend and decided the fix for that was her new boyfriend and a rifle at a gas station on a random Tuesday night. While Destiny was just trying to get home, chilly. I wish I was making that part up. That night was not the whole story, though. Before any of that, this was who Destiny actually was. She was 23, and by 23, a lot of us are still figuring out what we want to be when we grow up. Destiny had already decided she was a certified nursing assistant, which means every single day she walked into a room and took care of somebody who could not take care of themselves, bathing them, feeding them, sitting with them when their own family could not always be there. That is not a job people fall into. That is a job you choose on purpose over and over every single shift. Destiny chose it. Every family has one person who is just funny without even trying. The one who can turn a bad day into a whole bit before you even realize you are laughing. In the Watson family, that person was Destiny. Her cousin Gladys said it plain. Said Destiny was the funniest person in the whole family. And she kept everybody laughing. Not sometimes, all the time. Baby, that is a real title in a family. Not everybody gets voted the funny one. Destiny earned it. Her mother's name is Shannon. And the day after her only daughter was murdered, all Shannon could bring herself to say was that Destiny was loving and hardworking. Chilla, that is what grief sounds like when there are no bigger words left. Destiny's family had to start a fund just to bury her. 23 years old, and her own mother was raising money for a funeral instead of a wedding. That is the woman Moses Richardson was dating. Funny. 23, working double shifts, taking care of sick people who were not even her own family. Let's talk about who else was in his life at the same time, because Chili, this is where it gets messy.
Shannon says that she knows the people accused of killing her daughter. She tells me that Gossett was Destiny's current boyfriend's ex, and Richardson was Gossett's boyfriend.
Did y'all catch that? Adrianna Gossett was not some stranger. She was Destiny's boyfriend's ex. And Moses Richardson, the man sitting right there in the passenger seat with an AR-15, he was Adrianna's current boyfriend. So let's be clear about who was actually in this situation. Two couples, one woman who used to date the man Destiny was now with, and a new boyfriend who apparently thought loyalty meant picking up a rifle. Every one of us knows a woman who cannot let an ex go. We have all met her. Maybe some of us have been her for a hot minute, and I am not judging. Normally that looks like stalking his Instagram at 2 a.m. Maybe leaking a secret or two out of spite. Maybe a subtweet with just enough detail that everybody already knows exactly who it is about. That is messy. That is petty. That is Tuesday. What Adrianna Gossett did was none of that. She skipped straight past messy and landed on murder. That is not the same category. That is not even the same conversation. Here's the part that really gets me. Moses Richardson was dating a woman who was still that deep in her feelings about somebody else. That is a red flag the size of Texas. Y'all could see that one from space. And instead of him seeing that flag and running the other way, he decided the move was to prove himself. Prove he was the real man, the one she deserved. And somehow, in his mind, the way to prove that was to help her commit murder.
He was told he was driving the car. Yeah. And we was also told that the bullets wasn't for her. We was told that the bullets were for him. I just feel like they planned this. Now, I don't know what the other guy come in at, because I was told that he was maybe her new boyfriend.
Lord, now you understand why that did not make sense the first time you heard it. Destiny's own family was told the bullets might not have even been meant for her, that they were meant for her boyfriend, the man Adrianna could not let go of in the first place. Destiny just happened to be the one who got out of the car. Sit with that for a second. He did not just take Destiny's whole future that night. He took himself out of his own future too. His family's future, all of it, gone. For a woman who could not do the one thing grown adults are supposed to know how to do, let somebody go. I said what I said. If this story already got you some type of way, and you are new here, welcome to Crime of Love. We tell it exactly like it happened. No sugarcoating. Hit subscribe because we are digging all the way into how this actually went down. And I need you back here for the rest of it. Let's get into how this actually went down, because none of this started on that Tuesday night at the gas station. It started somewhere back before that. And whatever was still going on between Moses Richardson, Adrianna Gossett, and the man Destiny was dating. Now, I have to be honest with y'all here, because that is what this channel does. There is no public record of Destiny filing a restraining order. No documented 911 calls from her about any of this. If those things happened, they have not surfaced anywhere we could verify, and we are not going to invent something just to fill a gap. What we do have is Detective Robert Martin on camera laying out the working theory.
It is believed that the subjects had a confrontation at some point in time, and this is possibly what led up to this.
That is it. That is what is confirmed. A working theory from law enforcement and a family who says Gossett and Destiny's boyfriend were, in the detective's own words, still dealing with each other, even after Gossett had supposedly moved on with Moses. Whew. Moved on is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Whatever was actually unresolved between them, it came to a head on February 7th, 2023. Around 7:30 that evening, Destiny Watson pulled into the Chevron gas station on St. Stephen's Road in Prichard, Alabama.
Breaking news at this hour, Prichard police confirming one woman has died after being shot last night at a Chevron gas station on St. Stephen's Road. Prichard PD says 23-year-old Destiny Watson was shot and killed at that gas station. They tell Fox 10 News there was a confrontation between Watson and two other people in a different vehicle.
Adrianna Gossett had driven her Chevrolet Tahoe into the same lot and blocked Destiny's car in. Destiny got out of her vehicle. Moses Richardson was in the front passenger seat of Gossett's Tahoe, carrying an AR-15 rifle. He fired several shots. Destiny was hit in the chest and in the abdomen. She was taken to the hospital. She did not survive her injuries. Prichard police were on that scene within minutes of the call coming in. By the next afternoon, they had a name, Adrianna Gossett. And by that same evening, they had two names and two people in custody. Adrianna Gossett, 26, Moses Richardson, 22, both charged with murder less than 24 hours after Destiny died. Detective Martin told reporters the investigation was ongoing.
No danger, none other than what is already going on in the city around us with all the gun violence. That's the only danger that it really is imposed within the city of Mobile and Prichard, surrounding areas.
That is one way to reassure a neighborhood, I suppose. 24 hours to make an arrest? It would take nearly 3 years to get a conviction. Y'all, hold on to that number. We are coming back to it. That fast arrest did not mean fast justice, though. 3 days later, both of them were standing in front of a judge for a bond hearing, and that is where things started to feel a lot less like justice and a lot more like something else.
The two people accused of gunning down Destiny Watson at a Prichard gas station. Adrianna Gossett had a $250,000 bond today, but the judge denied the prosecutor's request that part of that bond be paid in cash. However, the judge did place conditions on Gossett's bond, including no contact with Watson's family, and she has to wear an ankle monitor. Her arraignment is set for next week.
As for Moses Richardson, he was denied bond. He's also not allowed to have contact with Jalen Williams or the family of Destiny Watson. Possessions of firearms, that's out too. His arraignment is February 15th.
Destiny's cousin Gladys Douglas was in that courtroom, and baby, she did not hold back. She told reporters exactly what she thought about the AR-15. She said, quote, "You got an AR on you. You came to do damage. If I got a .25 or a .22 in my hand, that's different. That's going to shoot one time. You come with something with a switch, it's going to come and it ain't going to stop." End quote. Chilly. She is not wrong about that. Both of them pleaded not guilty, and then in this case just sat for almost 3 years. When it finally went to trial in February of 2026, it turned out to be the first case to go before a jury since the lead detective on the investigation, a man named Jason Hadaway, had been convicted of perjury in an unrelated case. The judge would not even let the defense bring it up in front of the jury. Moses Richardson admitted he was the one who fired the rifle, but he told the court it was self-defense. The jury did not agree. On February 4th, 2026, they found him guilty of murder. Guilty. Nearly 3 years after that gas station. Y'all remember that number I told you to hold on to? Well, here is where we find out exactly what almost 3 years of waiting actually bought Destiny's family. It bought her a sentence in hearing. That is what almost 3 years bought Destiny's family. A courtroom in May of 2026 in front of Judge Ben Brooks. His attorney stood up in that courtroom and asked for 20 years instead, citing his lack of a prior criminal record and a diagnosed developmental disorder. Now, that diagnosis is real, and this channel does not play with real things like that. So I am going to leave it exactly where it belongs, as a medical fact and not a punchline. But what his own defense team put in writing right after that? Baby, that part is fair game. In a sentencing memo, his attorney wrote, quote, "Mr. Richardson has exhibited positive interpersonal and behavioral changes since the offense. Maintaining hope for life after punishment and incarceration is likely to increase his agency and motivation for continued betterment." End quote. Positive interpersonal changes. Look, I need you to sit with that phrase for a second, because it is doing some heavy lifting. Positive interpersonal changes is what you say about a coworker who finally started saying good morning back. It is not what you say about a man who brought an assault rifle from his own house, rode along to go handle another woman's business, and ended a 23-year-old's whole life over an argument that was never even his to be in. That is not growth. Chilly. That is a man who got caught and is now very sorry specifically that he got caught. The Judge gave him 65 years.
A judge sentencing a man in Mobile to 65 years in prison. It's for a murder he committed in 2023.
District Attorney Keith Blackwood put it plain, too. He said, quote, "What began as an argument ended in a young woman losing her life because someone chose to escalate a situation with a deadly weapon." I do not think I could have said it better myself. Now, 65 years is a long time to sit with your thoughts, but Moses was not the only one in that car that night, and the other one is still walking around free. Adrianna Gossett is still out on bond right now, waiting on her own trial. Her charge has not gone anywhere. And while Moses sits with 65 years to think it over, Adrianna has been busy. In July of 2026, somebody started a GoFundMe, title of it, and I promise you, I am not making this up. Help Adrianna rebuild after incarceration. Rebuild after incarceration. Whew. Baby, she has not even been to trial yet. The page says she cannot do hair anymore because of her case, and that the money would go toward legal fees, court costs, her ankle monitor, and basic living expenses. As of right now, she has raised $67 of a $350 goal, and Destiny's family found that page. A woman named Gladys Renee Holcomb left a comment under it saying Destiny was her cousin. She was not gentle about it. She pointed out that Adrianna can still do hair from home, ankle monitor and all, so there was no real excuse for asking strangers for money in the first place. She said she will be there the day Adrianna gets sentenced early. Y'all go read that page for yourselves. Then come tell me in the comments what you think, because I already know I am not the only one with something to say about it. All that noise and none of it brings Destiny back. So let's end where we should have been all along. Back with her. Destiny Watson was 23 years old. She spent her days taking care of people who could not take care of themselves, and she still came home every single day and made her whole family laugh anyway. That is not nothing. That is a whole life done right, cut short by two people who could not handle their own unfinished business like grown adults. Her mother lost her only daughter. Her family had to raise money for a funeral instead of watching her build the rest of her life. God bless her. And Lord, rest her. Truly, Destiny spent her whole short life taking care of people who could not take care of themselves. And in the end, it was somebody else's inability to take care of their own feelings that ended it. Let me know what you think about all of it down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one. This is Crime of Love, and this was Destiny's story.